Hey girls, welcome back to McStorytime with Miss McMahon. Do you remember what we've been talking about this month? This whole month of December, it's a very special month. You're right, we've been talking about kindness, haven't we? Do you remember what kindness means? Yes, kindness means responding to the needs of others without expecting anything in return, right? Doing things for others without expecting anything back. That is what kindness is all about. And do you remember that story we read about the elves and the shoemaker? Remember those little elves that came in the middle of the night and helped the shoemaker out and made the shoes for the shoemaker every night? Yes, I bet you do remember. Well, today I have another story about kindness. And it's very special. And it's called, Have You Filled a Bucket Today? You might be wondering, how is a bucket related to kindness? Well, we're going to find out. In our story today, Have You Filled a Bucket Today? And it's by Carol McLeod. And the pictures or illustrator is David Messing. All right? I bet you didn't know this, but you have an invisible bucket. Miss McMahon has an invisible bucket. Your mommy and daddy have an invisible bucket. Really? We're going to find out what this invisible bucket is all about. All day long, everyone in the whole wide world walks around carrying an invisible bucket. You can't see it, but it's there. You can't see it, but it's there. It's an invisible bucket. You have a bucket. Each member of your family has a bucket. Your grandparents, friends, and neighbors all have buckets. Everyone carries an invisible bucket. There's everybody with their buckets. You can't see it, but it's there. Your bucket has one purpose only. Its purpose is to hold your good thoughts and good feelings about yourself. You feel happy and good when your bucket is full. And you feel sad and lonely when your bucket is empty. Do you ever feel sad and lonely? Or do you feel happy, right? When you feel happy, your bucket is full. But sometimes you might feel sad when your bucket is empty when you feel sad. Other people feel the same way too. They're happy when their buckets are full, and they're sad when their buckets are empty. It's great to have a full bucket, and this is how it works. Other people can fill your bucket, and you can fill theirs. You can fill your own bucket too. So how do you fill a bucket? How do we do it? You fill a bucket when you show love to somebody. When you say or do something kind, or even when you give someone a smile. That's being a bucket filler, right? Simple things fill other people's buckets. And when you fill other people's buckets, you fill your bucket up too. A bucket filler is a loving person who says and does nice things to make others feel special, right? Being kind to others. When you treat others with kindness and respect, you fill their bucket. Very simple, isn't it? But you can also dip into a bucket and take out some good feelings. You dip into a bucket when you make fun of someone or when you say or do mean things, which I'm sure you never do. Or even when you ignore someone. That's called bucket dipping. That doesn't feel so good. And when you hurt others, you dip into their bucket. You will dip into your own bucket too. So if you don't do kind things, you're dipping into your friend's bucket and your own bucket. And then nobody feels good. But I'm sure you don't do any of that. Many people who dip have an empty bucket. They may think they can fill their own bucket by dipping into someone else's. But that will never work. You never fill your own bucket when you dip into somebody else's, right? You don't feel good, they don't feel good, nobody feels good. But guess what? When you fill someone's bucket up, you fill your own bucket up too. You fill someone else's bucket, and your bucket gets filled up too. You feel good when you help others feel good. Don't you feel good when you do something kind for someone else? It makes them feel good. It also makes you feel good. All day long, we are either filling up or dipping into each other's buckets by what we say and by what we do. Try to fill a bucket and see what happens. You love your mom and dad. Why not tell them that you love them? You can even tell them why you love them. Your caring words will fill their buckets with joy, right? Watch for smiles to light up their faces. You will feel like smiling too. A smile is a good clue that you have filled a bucket. If you practice, you will become a great bucket filler. Just remember that everyone carries an invisible bucket, and think of what you can say or do to fill a bucket. What can you do or say to fill your mommy or daddy's bucket? Here are some ideas for you. You could smile and say hi to the bus driver. He has a bucket too. You could invite the new kid at school to play with you. Right, that's a way to fill someone's bucket, right? Or you could write a thank you note to your teacher. That's a great way to fill your teacher's bucket up, right? You could tell your grandpa that you like spending time with him. There are many ways to fill a bucket. Can you think of a way to fill your bucket in someone else's bucket? I bet you can. Bucket filling is really fun and easy to do. It doesn't matter how young or old you are. It doesn't cost money. It doesn't take much time. And remember, when you fill someone else's bucket, you fill your own bucket too. And when you're a bucket filler, you make your home, your school, and your neighborhood a better place for all. Bucket filling makes everyone feel good. Everyone feels good. So why not decide to be a bucket filler today and every day, right? Just start each day by saying to yourself, I'm going to do something to fill someone's bucket today. And at the end of each day, ask yourself, did I fill a bucket today? Yes, I did. That's the life of a bucket filler. And that is you. Right, girls? I know that you're bucket fillers. Can you think of something really great to do today to be a bucket filler? Say something kind to your mommy or daddy, or maybe go clean your room without being asked. That would fill their bucket up, and that would fill your bucket up too. Everyone feels good when people do kind things for each other, right? Right? Well, ladies, you know what? I wanted to show you something that helps Miss McMahon and helps some of our friends in our classroom remember that we have our invisible buckets, right, to fill each day. Miss McMahon does something. I have an actual bucket. Even though we have our invisible buckets, Miss McMahon does put a special little happy bucket in the classroom. Doesn't he look happy? He's so happy. And what I do is I catch friends in the classroom being bucket fillers. I do. And I catch friends doing lots of great things, filling their buckets up and filling their friends' buckets up with kindness. And I catch them doing kind things. And you know what I do? I say, oh, that was so kind. You were so kind to share that toy. Go put a heart in our happy bucket. Okay? And I have another bucket. It's really a bin. And I've got happy hearts in the bin like this. And when I catch someone being a bucket filler and showing kindness to their friends, I say, go get a heart and put it in the bucket. And they do. And guess what? By the end of the day, we have filled our bucket, our classroom bucket, with hearts, with love, with kindness. And it's all filled up by the end of the day. fill it all up, and we all feel love and kindness to each other, and we all feel wonderful. All right? So remember, think about this every day. Have you filled your bucket today? Have you filled someone else's bucket today? Let's be great bucket fillers and show each other with love and kindness. Okay, bye-bye for now.